How many days can a human stay awake without sleep? Stay awake for just 3 days in this experiment to claim a 100,000 yuan reward. The OK girl immediately agreed and signed a contract without hesitation. Little did she know this was a deadly experiment. As she lay on the operating table, the professor aimed a device at her neck. Xiaomei reached out to touch the wound in confusion. It felt like something had been implanted inside. The professor explained it was a heart rate monitoring chip that tracks her pulse in real time. She was then given a watch. Prolonged wakefulness, it turns out, produces curatacin, a hormone that revives brain-dead patients. If the chip reading hits 100, Xiaomei gets her 100,000 yuan reward. But if she sleeps over 60 seconds, the chip short-circuits, releasing lethal voltage. This stops her heart. Still, she shouldn't panic if dozing off. The watch alerts her before 60 seconds. Terrified, yet determined for the money, Xiaomei accepted. After surviving the first night, her curatacin level jumped to 41. Though exhausted, seeing her meager savings forced Xiaomei to stay upright. During a walk, she found her grandmother awake too anxious to sleep. After receiving another mortgage notice, "Pay or get evicted," it warned. Xiaomei reassured her, "I'll handle this," revealing her motive for joining the experiment. But she also has a misbehaving younger sister. The weight of her entire family rests on Xiaomei's shoulders. The next day, she headed to class as usual, but a boy abruptly took his seat, his gaze locked on her with unsettling intensity. Alarmed, Xiaomei quickly concealed her watch. The professor had explicitly warned her against revealing the experiment. Besides, Xiao Shuai was a notorious slacker, neglecting his studies for constant partying. Xiaomei held no favorable opinion of him. Then, Xiao Shuai flashed an identical watch. Only then did Xiaomei realize she wasn't the sole participant. 2 others had also been recruited. Cui Hua was incredibly vain, and a popular beauty influencer on campus. Cyan, however, was far more reserved, a hardcore gaming enthusiast, whose world revolved solely around video games. All 4 were adept at all-nighters, Xiaomei driven by immense pressure, the others fueled by relentless partying and excitement. They'd all been recruited by the same person, Nicha, an overly enthusiastic teacher eager to assist struggling students, who ultimately lured them into this perilous experiment. To stay awake, Cui Hua streamed non-stop, day and night. Cyan immersed himself completely in his virtual worlds. As for Xiao Shuai, he just kept clubbing, showing no sign of stopping. Only Xiaomei maintained some normalcy, studying or working at a restaurant. 3 days flew by. Their curatacin levels reached 100%. True to his word, the professor removed the chips and handed them their reward, 400,000 yuan in total. The moment they got the money, Cyan eagerly splurged on new gaming gear. Cui Hua rushed to a salon and bought a VIP membership. Start tending to her already worn-out face. Xiao Shuai bought himself a luxury watch to pick up girls. Only Xiaomei was different. Not only did she help her grandmother pay off the loan, but also bought her a massage chair. But all 4 shared one thing in common. The 100,000 yuan each received was quickly spent. As college students who'd tasted wealth, their desires grew even stronger. Cui Hua considered breast implants. Xiao Shuai had a big motorcycle, and Xiaomei wanted a new phone for her sister. So they reunited to attempt the sleep deprivation experiment again. Xiao Shuai boasted, "We aced the first stage. The second phase bonus could be even bigger." Xiaomei cautioned, "Don't celebrate yet. Bigger rewards mean longer without sleep." But the thought of huge money made them dismiss all worries. Cui Hua grinned ear to ear, imagining implants. They even gave their team a flashy name, the Sleepless Gang. Next day, they returned to the lab, approaching the professor to extract stronger curatacin. He revealed this trial required 5 sleepless days, as they worried about surviving this round. The professor announced a 500,000 yuan prize, learning of the 500,000 reward. All indulged in wild fantasies, unaware. A crisis was looming. The first 2 days went smoothly. By the 3rd and 4th days, they were gradually losing their grip. To stay awake, Xiaomei started dancing frantically, twisting her body to fight drowsiness, moving like a walking dead. At night, her temper suddenly turned volatile, as if every sound became amplified beyond measure. Even her sister's piano playing grated on her nerves. This tension ultimately drove the sisters apart. At school, she found herself nodding off while standing. Hallucinations began creeping in. Her curatacin levels now registered only 35%. The full 100% was required to claim the reward. Yet all 4 pressed on desperately. Her falling asleep meant instant death. Xiao Shuai headed to the basketball court, exercising to stay alert. Just then, a basketball came flying his way. In that moment, all he wanted was to close his eyes and sleep. Classmates helped him up, Dazed, he heard phantom voices, mocking him for being motherless and coming from a broken home. Enraged, Xiao Shuai lashed out, punching a classmate to the ground, though the boy hadn't uttered a word. Suddenly, all eyes regarded him like some monster. Xiao Shuai checked his monitor, his Kiratison reading, barely 47%, with just 1 day remaining. The target level remained elusive. Regrouping, the four realized Xiao Shuai had the highest reading. Xiao Mei theorized his athleticism was key, maintaining high adrenaline states could boost Kiratison production. Determined to claim the 500,000, they resolved to risk everything. The group reveled in wild celebration, singing, drinking, dancing, clubbing, indulging in every thrill imaginable. When all else failed, they doused themselves in ice-cold water. But after the revelry, their exhaustion intensified, making sleepiness overwhelming. To survive the fourth night, they spiked their drinks with stimulants and unbearably sour lemons. Xiao Mei warned this was dangerously reckless, potentially triggering a stroke. But death-defying Xiao Shuai gulped it down without hesitation. "Are you insane?" Xiao Mei gasped. Xiao Shuai calmly countered, "If we sleep tonight, we die anyway." Steeling herself, Xiao Mei followed suit with a desperate swallow. The others joined, plunging into another frenzied binge. Kiratison levels visibly surged, but side effects struck brutally. Sui Hua hallucinated vividly, convinced a stalker lurked nearby. A blood-curdling scream, then she collapsed unconscious. Her watch triggered the 60-second countdown upon impact. Comrades shook her frantically. No pulse detected. Xiao Mei's medical training kicked in. She performed emergency CPR on site, with seconds ticking down. Sui Hua gasped back to life at the final moment. The implanted chip would detonate behind their necks after 60 seconds of sleep, stopping their hearts instantly. The traumatic ordeal shocked them so profoundly that their Kiratison levels spiked to 100%. Shaken to the core, they confronted the professor. "Stop this madness. Your experiment nearly killed Sui Hua. It's lethal." But the professor flatly refused and instead proposed they continue to the third round. This round offers a 1 million yuan prize. But by now, the participants had grown fearful and began leaving the lab one by one. Only Xiao Mei remained, hesitating briefly before reluctantly following her departing companions. Exhausted from days without sleep, they collapsed into deep slumber at home, sleeping for 3 full days as if in a coma. Yet upon awakening, they discovered others dying around them, fellow participants of the sleep experiment. Just as Xiao Mei felt relieved about her withdrawal, her grandmother suddenly fell critically ill and was admitted to the ICU. Stunned by the exorbitant surgery costs, Xiao Mei was shocked when her younger sister produced a large sum of money. But upon recognizing the logo on the payment envelope, she realized her sister had secretly joined the experiment. Xiao Mei furiously scolded her. "People have lost their lives because of this. Stop the experiments." But her sister dismissed the warning, retorting, "She's my grandmother too." The sisters parted on bad terms after their bitter argument. By midnight, the younger sister still hadn't returned. Recalling her sister's hospital remarks, Xiao Mei rushed straight to the lab without hesitation. Sure enough, she found her sister with the professor. "Why target my sister?" Xiao Mei demanded. The professor denied any coercion, claiming her participation is entirely voluntary. Beside him, the younger sister insisted stubbornly, "I'll earn this money." Enraged, Xiao Mei ordered, "Remove her implant now, or I'm calling the police." Unfazed, the professor countered, "We have signed consent forms," and threatened her, "If you don't bring your friends back for the third round of experiments, I will absolutely refuse to remove your sister's chip. This means she will surely die." The sister realized in horror. My own sister participated in this deadly experiment? Furious, Xiao Mei dragged her sister away, but the sister's chip activation had already begun. To save her sister, Xiao Mei sought out her companions again. She pleaded with them to join the third phase, leading them back into the nightmarish lab. This time, surviving 10 sleepless days would earn them 1 million yuan. To endure the ordeal, they desperately sought ways to stay alert. But on day 6, terrifying hallucinations gripped them all. Xiao Mei saw visions of her sister collapsing, the experiment failing. Yet her real sister stood behind her. Only then did Xiao Mei understand. It was all in her mind. This was the brain's overload manifesting. The boys even brawled over nothing. Xiao Mei tried seeking their teacher, but outside the ward, she found live feeds of her friends, with experiment data flashing beside them. Remembering their teacher's recruitment push, the truth suddenly clicked for her. Their teacher was the mastermind all along. As the teacher materialized beside her, "You shouldn't have come," he hissed, making Xiao Mei bold. He didn't give chase. Later, Xiao Mei warned her friends, But the teacher had already they were utterly cut off from the outside. They've been awake without sleep for 7. Xiao Shuai finally, his watch activated the 60-second countdown. In that moment, he seemed to see his mother and finally smiled. Tragically, Xiao Shuai exceeded the time limit. His heart stopped beating. The teacher wheeled his body to the adjacent room, then removed his implanted chip, the source of curatacin for treating brain death. As he carefully stored the chip, a sudden blow struck him. Xiao Shuai was alive. The other 4 rushed in during the commotion. After Xiaomei uncovered the teacher's scheme, it could temporarily stop their heartbeats, fooling the teacher's monitor, but they still didn't know why this cruel woman did all this. The teacher then pulled aside a nearby curtain, revealing an emaciated man lying there. Thus began her obsessive mission, luring financially struggling students into sleep experiments to harvest more curatacin to revive her lover. She never intended to harm anyone. She'd even subjected herself to the experiments, consumed by a hopeless romantic obsession that trapped her in an inescapable abyss. That's why she attacked Xiaomei to protect her twisted plan, still unrepentant at this final moment. Cui Hua knocked the teacher out cold with a brick, but Xiaomei's unconsciousness triggered the 60-second countdown. They frantically tried to revive her as the final seconds ticked away. Would Xiaomei really perish like this? Remembering her sister's sacrifices for the family and refusing to lose her, the younger sister punched her. Miraculously, the punch revived Xiaomei. Thus, everyone emerged safely from the crisis.